Okay, so once again, it is Tuesday. It's May 16th. It's 11:40 a.m. here in Cincinnati, Ohio, and we can talk, and I will try to help you with your problems, whatever they may be. I'm pretty good too, Fatima. Hello, Harry. You met a new friend from Pakistan. Okay, cool. Good for you. Hello, Rainbow. What's your question? Oh, excuse me. I need more coffee. Hutron, today the weather is wet. It's raining. It's 18 and raining. Hello, Sophia. If there is a big temperature difference between indoors and outdoors, will you guys say temperature difference? Well, yeah. I mean, that's one way we could say it. You know, indoors, we call that air conditioned. Okay, so when you're indoors, we say if you have the ability to control the temperature inside, then we call that air conditioned. So you can say the inside is air conditioned and the outside is not. I drink iced coffee. Well, I喝冰咖啡. My stomach is making noises. Can you guys hear that? I need to eat something for breakfast, but I'm on a diet, and that's how it works. You're going to be hungry. Minaj wants to come on the stage. Harry wants to come on the stage. You know, I have to say something. I do have to say that I think that India needs to figure out how it can export the confidence that it has. Because there are so many Indians who are on here who are not afraid at all to say, please talk to me, please talk to me, please talk to me. There are many people on here who want to talk, but they're always too afraid to raise their hand, or they're always too afraid to come up. But not if you're a guy from India. They are not afraid. So, guys, I will invite some people up soon. Soon, all right? Not quite yet, but in a few more minutes. Ahmed, memorize with a Z or memorize with an S. They're both correct. Memorize with a Z is the American way to spell it, and memorize with an S is the British way to spell it. Thank you, Mauricio. Hello, Ardalan and Joe. Yes, Johanna, you can come up soon, Joanna. I'm going to invite people soon. Do I drink latte? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Sophia, part of my diet is basically fasting in the morning, so I drink coffee and I eat pistachios. I'll have about two handfuls of handsful. I'll have about two handsful of pistachios, and that's it. That's my breakfast, and then I won't eat again until lunch. Syed wants me to pronounce the words listen, li. Look at my mouth, listen to me, and lesson. So lesson, there's no wide mouth. Listen to me. Hello, Prabjot. Nick Chan supports the Lakers. Okay. Maurizio wants to know, am I also learning Spanish? Yeah. I'm learning a lot of languages. Maurizio, I try to learn anything I can learn. So, Maurizio, I don't approach language learning the same as most people do. I think it's valuable to learn just a little bit of another language, even if you're not fluent in it. So I know a little bit of a bunch of other languages. Okay? I can't speak them, but I know a few words and I can understand some. Ardalan, you want me to what? You want me to recommend some kids' cartoons? Is that what you're saying? Sophia says, with coffee, the darker the better. And Sophia, I do. I love a dark roast, and I love it to be very strong. A strong, dark roast. But, yeah, I put some almond milk in mine, which I guess makes it a latte. Manaj, yes, you can join. Just give me a minute and wait, please. Be patient. What do I usually have for dinner? Delir wants me to talk about dinner. Well, usually, there is no usually for me. I love to cook. So, for example, maybe I can show you my dinner last night. Wait a minute. Let's see. How is it not showing up yet on this? Huh. Weird. Okay, let me try this way. Last night, I made chicken kebabs and grilled broccolini and a salad. So last night was pretty healthy. I will show you. Un momento, por favore. Oh, wrong one. That one. So I had, let's see, how do I do this? I can do it like this. There we go. I had a salad. There. And I also had, there's the kebabs. I made three flavors of kebabs. And also some baby broccoli. So there was my dinner last night, and that's probably going to be my lunch today too. There was too much to eat, so I'll eat the leftovers I'll have for lunch today. All right, so if you guys would like to raise your hand, then I'll invite some people on stage. Celine, I am in Cincinnati, Ohio. It's in the middle of America. Anna wants me to pronounce the words leaf and leave. Leaf, live, life. And live can also be live. So there's two pronunciations for L-I-V-E. Where do you live? Okay. Ahmed, you pronounce the word cheap. Cheap. Hello, Nabin. Namaste. Okay, let's see. All right, we've got Delir and Maurizio. And how about Sunny? Hello, Delir.
Hello, Teacher Mark. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much.
Good, good. Do you want me to turn your camera off? Oh, there you go. You got it. All right. And hello, Maurizio.
I'm not prepared, but sorry.
No, that's okay. It's no problem. Hello, Maurizio. How are you?
Fine, thanks, Mac.
Good. And hello, Sunny. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Sunny, what city are you in China? What city?
Yangzhou.
Yangzhou. Okay. And what about you, Maurizio?
I'm also from Yangzhou, but I live in Changzhou.
Oh, wow. You guys are neighbors.
See, I'm from Yangzhou.
Okay. And Delir, you are in Iraq. And did you say you're Kurdish?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes. You remembered me.
I remember seeing you in the chat. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I will start with you, Delir, if that's okay. Sometimes the connection's not so good in Iraq, so if you guys don't mind, Sunny and Maurizio, let me talk to Delir first, and then I will talk to you. So, Delir, how can I help you today? Did you have a question for me?
Actually, you helped me a lot since you started the live stream. Thank you so much. But you know what? I just asked for you keep yourself in diet, right?
I try to, but my idea of dieting is not like most people. So I like I said, all I do is in the morning, I don't eat a lot or maybe not at all. Right now, what I usually eat is I have 2 handsful of pistachio nuts, roasted pistachio nuts, and then some coffee. That's my breakfast. That's it. And I know that's not a lot. That's the point. That's the point. Everybody says breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Well, if that's true, then if you cut breakfast out, then you'll lose a lot of weight, won't you? So I cut my breakfast out. I just eat some nuts, which gives me energy, but not too much energy. And it's not real, too fattening, right? And you have to be disciplined. You have to make sure I take 2 hands full out, and that's it. That's all I eat. And then for lunch or dinner, most of the time I have anything I want, whatever I am into, whatever I want to eat. But I try not to overeat. Okay, so if I order pizza, I like pizza, and I can eat 4 big pieces of pizza, but I will try to make sure I only have 2 or maybe 3. And that's it. Okay, so that's it. I just try to be moderate, have some moderation about what I eat, but then I eat anything I want to, which is what I like about this diet. I don't have to say, well, I can't eat that or I can't eat that. I can eat whatever I want. Candy, chips, I eat chocolate, I eat ice cream, but I don't eat too much, and I try to make sure I stay active, Delir. I try to
So you
stay
are not
active.
planning to lose weight, right?
I'm sorry?
You are not planning to lose weight.
Nope, I don't run unless someone is chasing me.
No one is chasing you. That's right. No, for me,
Yeah.
I am trying to lose weight. Just if you want to follow my recommendation, just remove bread from your meals
Yeah, but
and
I
eat
love bread.
whenever you want. Whenever you want.
I love bread though. I know people do that. They take out carbohydrates, right? So bread and
Yes,
pasta
yes,
and things like that.
carbohydrates.
But I love carbohydrates so much that I can't do that. But again, I feel like it's okay if one thing is I cook. So I can cook my own food, and that means I know what's in it. And sometimes you can make it really delicious, but it's not as bad as the food you bought from the restaurant. You know,
Of course.
so yeah, I guess I look at it like I try to think about it like a caveman. You know, why were cave people fit and not fat? Because they were active. That's really what it comes down to. So, for example, I went to the grocery store the other day, and I think probably many people don't like me in the grocery store. Because when I'm in the grocery store, I am a man on a mission. Like, I'm walking quickly everywhere I go to get what I need and get out. There's a term I can teach you guys. It's a slang term.
Yes, please.
Lollygagging. Lollygagging is a strange, weird slang term. It means that you're doing some kind of an action without real purpose, right? So if you go to the grocery store and you're just kind of like, I'm not in a rush. I can just, what's that over there? Ooh, that's lollygagging. You don't have anything to do. You don't have any purpose. Nothing's driving you forward. You're not in a rush, right? So, but when I go to do my grocery shopping, I'm, everywhere I go in my day, I walk quickly. Everywhere I go in my day, I walk quickly. And I think that matters. I think it matters. So, Mauricio, I lost you.
Yeah, we lost Mauricio.
Mauricio, come back. I'll bring you right back up, my friend. I was just about to get to you. If it's too late, then that's okay. You can come back next time, Maurizio. I'm sorry I didn't get to you in time. I hope you weren't just impatient. But if you want to raise your hand again, you can. Yes. So anyway, Delir, like I said, I think the secret for me is making sure that I stay active. So yesterday I had to cut the grass in my yard, and it's a pretty big yard. It's a really good workout if you do it quickly. Like if you really push yourself to do it fast, it should take you almost 2 hours. I did it yesterday in under an hour.
That's good.
Right. So I don't like to go to the gym because I just feel too vain. When I'm in the gym, I feel like I'm looking at the mirror, and that doesn't make me feel right. But I like to be active. I like to do work that's active that keeps me fit. Right. And I'm a drummer. That's nice, too, because drums is a very physical instrument. So it also keeps me fit.
No, teacher Mark, for me, I need to lose weight because I have a problem with my back. I have a deteriorated herniated disc.
Oh, no.
So I just removed, like I said, bread from my meals, and I lost 8 kilograms so far.
Wow. That's good. Good for you.
I was 84, and right now I am about 77, I think. 77 and something.
That's about the same as me. Yeah, I think I may be a little bit, maybe a little lower than that. I can't remember what am I in kilograms. Let me see.
Even I eat yogurt with a spoon.
Yeah, I love yogurt too. Yeah, Greek yogurt is my favorite. That's a good snack I love. But 70, I'm 75. I'm right around 75 or 76 kg.
That is good.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I would like to be a couple pounds lower, just a few pounds less, maybe 2 kg less, you know. So I'm still trying to get a little bit lower.
And I am 180 high.
Centimeters. Okay. Delir, did you have something else you'd like to ask me about, or anything about English you wanted to ask me?
No, thank you so much. You have sometimes to measure our level of English. Because we don't know where we are, so we don't know whether we are in the level B, A, B2. We don't know. Sometimes you can like judge and measure our level.
Yeah, I don't like those levels, Lear. because I don't think you should think about language like that. I feel like that's not a good way to consider your language, and it's not really true or effective. When they say you only know A1 level vocabulary or B1 level vocabulary, that's not true. I'm sure you know some words that are more difficult than that, right? So I don't like to look at language like levels like that. I just like to look at it more like it's a mountain that I'm climbing, and I have to climb that mountain every day until I learn the whole mountain, until I know that mountain really, really well.
I do actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I never remember to stop anywhere because my journey needs a lot. That distance is so far for us as a non-native speakers. But sometimes, just to not to keep going, to keep moving, and not being frustrated, we need like someone to say you are intermediate or you have become.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's good to get some sense of level. Just don't think about it too much. I guess that's all I mean is don't. Here's the way we talk about it in English. We say don't put too much stock in it. What that means is don't put too much value in that. Okay, so the idea that I'm a B1 level or I'm a C2 level or whatever it is, that's okay to give you some idea, but don't put too much value in that because it's just not that useful to consider language like that. Okay? Language is more like music. Think more like learning a language is like learning music, right? And so put it this way. You can learn rock music, right? And maybe you're really, really good at rock music, but you don't know anything about jazz music. Okay? Well, then that means that, wait, are you good or are you not good? Because you're good at one thing, but you're not good at the other. So that's what I mean when people tell me that they're B1 level. I don't know what that means because I know what you think that means. It means you think that you know a certain amount of vocabulary in a certain range. But what I'm telling you, I'm telling you that I know that you also know some words that are outside that range. So that means that range is really not true. Right? So that idea that you only know this is not true. Right? So I think,
I got you.
yeah, I think it's more, think about it more like music. Just try to find all the different facets of language, So what can you talk about? Can you talk about family really well? Mm-hmm. Can you talk about your friends really well? Can you talk about work really well? Can you talk about your past or your present or your future? Can you talk about politics or religion really well? That's how I think about vocabulary and language. I don't think about B1 or B2. I think about how well can I express myself about topics, not about a group of vocabulary words. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah, so think about topics that's a little bit more like music, where you've got rock music and blues music and jazz music and Arabic music and Japanese music and Chinese music, and right, those are different facets of music. Okay.
Okay. Okay, I got you. Okay, just one more question, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Yeah. Do you recommend to native speakers to correct us when we made any mistakes? Do you recommend that?
Not every mistake, no. I don't correct every mistake I hear. As a teacher, this is what I have learned. If you correct every mistake everyone makes all the time, you're just going to beat them down and they won't want to learn. They'll feel like they're not really doing well. So I hear mistakes all the time, and sometimes I don't correct them, and sometimes I do. It depends on the mistake that I hear. Sometimes, as a teacher, I've been doing this a long time, sometimes I can hear the mistake you make, and I can recognize which one is a problem and which one's not a problem. And so if it's a problem, then I'll point it out to you and I'll say, hey, you should maybe consider this, or look at this, right? But if I hear you make another kind of mistake that I feel like is probably not a big deal, or that you will figure it out on your own, then no, I won't correct that every time. Okay?
Okay.
Oh, I think I lost you because of the time limit, probably. I'm sorry about that, my friend. Well, I hope you got all your questions in. Who else would like to raise their hand and come on the stage? And this time, I'm only going to do one at a time only, because the time limit makes it really hard for me to know how much time is left. And I told Hello Talk about it, and they're going to maybe consider putting a timer on there so everybody knows how much time they have. So raise your hand if you want to talk to me. All right, Joanna wants to talk to me. Haneen wants to talk to me. Hello, Joanna.
Hello, teacher. Good night.
Yes, good evening to you. Yes, if you say good night in English, good night is almost always a goodbye only. We don't say good night to say hello. We'll say good evening. Good evening can be a hello or a goodbye. But good night is always like good night, like you're leaving.
Means you will go to bed.
That's
lie
right.
on the bed,
That's right.
sleep.
That's right. But
Yeah.
good evening means have a good evening. Maybe the rest of your evening. If it's 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, you could maybe say, have a good evening.
I just confused about that. I'm not sure I have this opportunity on your stage. I will tell you, this is the first I contact with the anchor, but I failed. So I just wanted to sleep, and you say one more. Okay, I just touched.
Well, it's funny because so many people say they want to raise their hand, but then they don't when I ask them to, so I don't know why. Some people are just too scared to talk to me, I think. But did you have a question for me or something you want some help with, Joanna?
Yes, I have some questions.
Okay.
Here's a question. If you beat the lottery, what will you do?
Oh, we're going to have those kinds of questions. Okay. If I won the lottery, what would I do? All right. I've thought about this before, and yeah, I'm a weird guy. There's a quote I'm trying to remember.
I think, yes. Did you do that before? Hit the lottery?
Have I ever won the lottery? No, of course not. No, I've never won the lottery. But
No, once.
I've thought about it before. So, but if I won the lottery, I'm always shocked when I hear that people win the lottery, because I always am surprised. It's always selfish. It's always, I have $1 million, or I have $20 million, or I have $700 million. Just once, I want to see somebody win that much money and then go do something amazing with it for everyone. Right? So that's why I said if I won the lottery and I won, $700 million, I would tell every kid in the United States that your college is paid for the next 5 years. I would just say, I'm paying for college for the next 5 years. Whoever wants to go, you can go and it's on me. That's what I would do. I would do something big like that. Soul says I'm lying. I'm not. And you know why I can say that? Because my whole life I've never cared about money. I've never cared about money. Anyone who knows me, they'll tell you that nothing about my life has ever been driven by money. Everything I have ever done in my life is because of my passion. So I'm a teacher because I love teaching. I'm a drummer because I love music. I'm a cook because I love cooking. I didn't do any of those things to make money. And so, and I don't have a bunch of money now, and I don't really care. I could go get a job making a bunch of money right now. I could, and it would be pretty easy. I don't care to, don't want to, not interested in it. Not everyone in the world is driven by money. I'm trying to develop myself as a person. So I spend my time trying to develop myself as a person. That's what I try to do. And so when I say something like I would pay for college for everybody for the next 5 years, no, that is exactly what I would do. Because I would feel so good knowing that I helped that many people. And you think, so if you have $700 million and you go buy 10 houses and you go travel around the world and you have 5 boats and blah, 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 good for you. But how did you change the world with that? You didn't. You were selfish and you just spent it on you. I could change the world if I gave college to everybody for free for 5 years. That's something that could change the world. Now, will it happen? Probably not. No. So no one will ever find out. But I can tell you that I've never been driven by money. I want money, but I only want it if it comes to me through my passions. I'm not going to chase after it. I want money to chase after me. I'm not going to chase after it.
Exactly. Okay. So hunting the lottery is every person's dream. Like you did say that without money, you still can achieve your value, right? So yes, like your pension, you're a good teacher. I have never seen that on this Hello Talk. That's true. Okay. Yes. So for me, if I have a million money, I think, okay, I don't want to buy the big house, just a villa. Okay, I have the new apartment in the big city, but it's 2 million. That's true. But I never show everyone, oh, I'm so rich or someone else. So I just want to buy a villa. It's not so big. Just the villa has the big yard for me because I like to plant the green
You're like a garden.
flowers.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
the big garden. I can just relax myself. When I got some problem, I can come here, calm down, and drink a coffee and release my pressure. That's enough. And for
Joanna,
me,
on my earlier live stream, I was talking about a man named Denzel Washington. Do you know who he is? Denzel Washington. He's a famous American actor. And he has a quote that I really, really love that is the way I believe too. He says, anyone can make a living. Anyone can make a living. I want to make a difference. right? So I'm not just trying to make a living. That's so easy and sad. That's such a small dream. That's such a small, small dream. I want to have a house. No, that's not the dream I have. I want to help people in a way that affects the world. So whatever you're doing, that's good for you. But I feel good about what I'm doing right now because you know what I love about teaching? What I love about teaching is you never know where your influence ends. So my words today will go out to how many people, and those people might tell 10 other people, and those people might tell 10 people in the future. These words may live longer than I do. So go buy a house. That's great. Good for you. But that house is going to be dust, and my words will still be living. So that's how I see it.
Yes. Every person can make the living. That's good. I will write down. Okay, I will start.
Anyone can make a living, but I want to make a difference. Yeah.
Okay, here is another question. So when will you focus on this job? So motivation, what is your motivation about that?
My motivation for what job?
Yeah, your teacher, the English teacher.
My motivation is that I like to help people. I love to see someone understand something. I love that moment when someone doesn't understand and then suddenly they do. And I also love that moment when somebody is not really interested in learning, but suddenly now they are. Right? So what I love to do is to, start a little fire in somebody's head, a passion fire that makes them interested in learning, right? So, Joanna, I taught English in Taiwan for 4 years. And it was hard. Do you know why it was so hard? Because it's not easy to teach someone that doesn't want to learn. And most Chinese kids are so tired. They're so tired. They go to school all day and all night, and all they know is school, 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 school. And they hate it, most of them. They do. I know. I asked them. And that's why they're so tired that when I try to teach them, they're not interested in learning. They have no passion. There's no interest there. They already killed it too much. And that's hard, So what I love is to be able to take a kid and see some kid who maybe he has a question, and I can turn that question into a curiosity. And that will make him want to go learn more. Some people just give information. Some teachers teach you how to love finding information, right? So some teachers, they just give you the information. Some teachers, they teach you how to love the search and the adventure of finding information and learning new things.
Yes, that's correct. So it depends on the teachers. I think every teacher they have the teaching method, but not all. They have more passion and patience for every child.
Well, yeah. And again, teaching is not something that everyone should do. Teaching is something that you should only do if you really think you have a passion or a calling for teaching, right? It's not a job. This is your children you're talking about. The information that goes into your child's mind, that's the teacher who puts it there. That's an important job. So, you need to make sure that the person who's teaching knows why they're teaching. I started teaching when I was 18 years old. And when I started teaching, I didn't know what I was doing, but I learned in time. And one thing that I knew was, again, I didn't do it for the money. I did it because it was better than the other job, right? So I was 18. I could go work at a restaurant and cook. or I could teach drums. I'll teach drums. That sounds fun. That sounds fun. I'll do that. So I chose to teach drums. And my motivation wasn't money. The money was a little bit better than working at the restaurant, but not as consistent. Teaching is not as consistent as a restaurant job. A restaurant job, they tell you, oh, you have this many hours, you'll make this much money. But when you teach, you might have 30 students one week and 20 students the next week, and it's not as consistent, but it's what I loved. So it's what I wanted to do. Yeah.
Okay, but I agree with your point. And for me, I didn't finish this topic. If we have the 1 million, what should I do? First, I will buy the villa, not too big. And number two, I think I will think how to make more money, like create a new company with the meaningful company. Sounds like you did see that help others achieve your value. Okay, so I think I will maybe donate or build a school just only for leftover children.
See, that's good. I like that. See, I like that. Look, I'm not telling you that if I won the lottery, would I spend the money on myself a little bit? Yeah, I would, but my needs are not that great, right? So I don't need 10 houses, and I don't even need one big house. I would be happy with one small house or one okay medium-sized apartment. I'd be happy with that. I don't care about big things. So that's just me. But I'm just saying I would spend a little bit on me, but my personal needs for stuff are really small. So that's why I feel very confident that I could say I would want to help more people. I would help more people. So those are good questions, Joanna. I like your questions. You've got some thought-provoking questions. Those are what we call thinkers. That's a thinker.
Thank you. And can I ask you one more question?
Sure, one more.
How do you think is the diploma more important than the skills?
The skills are more important. The skills are definitely more important. I mean, I know a lot of people with degrees, and some of them are not that great. I guess what I mean is like, let's just talk about teachers, just teachers. I know some teachers with degrees, maybe a master's degree or a PhD in education, incredible background in education, but they're not a very good teacher. Their skills are just not that good. They studied a lot. They went to school for a long time. They read all the right books, but a lot of teaching cannot be learned in a classroom. It has to be learned by doing it in the classroom, not by learning it in a classroom. Do you understand what I mean? You can't learn it in a class. You have to learn it by being the teacher. Once you're the teacher, then you start learning, oh, wait, I can't do it that way. Or you start to figure out what works and what doesn't work. And most of it's not book learning. It's psychology. It's understanding learning styles. It's communication ability. It's your ability to reformulate the same information in many different ways. So if I have 20 different students, those students might need to hear that information 20 different ways, and I have to be able to do that. Right? So in my opinion, I would rather have a teacher with a lot of experience but no degree than a teacher with a lot of degrees but no experience.
Okay. I agree that a lot of teaching cannot be learned in the classroom.
A lot
Yes.
of it, yeah.
Yes. So today, today there is an intern in my department, and her major is not English, and she just to try one class teach the third grade three, yes. So it's an easy topic, but when we listen to her class and I talk with her and I said your PowerPoint is a big problem because you can't download the PowerPoint online. You should change that in your mind because the 40 minutes in the class, you maybe step by step, okay? So you should have your own teaching style, not follow others. That's very important. And
That's true. That's true.
yes,
Although, Joanna, although I will tell you this though, in there's another thing about teaching that's a lot like music. When you learn music, everybody wants to have their own personal sound, their personal voice that sounds like you, only you, right? But becoming your own voice takes a long, long time. And before you know who you are as a teacher, you have to model yourself after other teachers that you think are good teachers, right? So, for example, in music, we start by modeling ourselves after the drummers that we love, or I'm a drummer, so I would model myself after the drummer that I thought was the best drummer, right? And when you model yourself after someone, you really, it gives you an opportunity to sound like them for a while. So maybe for 6 months, I'll study this guy and I'll really try to sound like him. And then for the next year, I study this other guy and now I sound like him. And then I study this girl and I sound like her. But then 10 years later, now you put all these things together and I'm a little bit of this person and I'm a little bit of this person, I'm a little bit of that person. And that makes me. So what I mean is, you're right. You do need to be your own voice and do things your own way. But in music and in teaching and in music, sometimes you have to learn how to be someone else before you can be yourself. Okay,
yes,
so
that's perfect. Yes,
yeah, you just have to follow. So when you see a really great teacher, model yourself after them. And what do they do? How do they do their study book? And how do they introduce the class? And how do they, what are their techniques? What do they do? Follow them, right? And then maybe next year you see another teacher and you follow them and model them. And after you've modeled many, many people over the years, then you become a unique voice. That's Joanna.
yes, that's great. And you remind me a word. Sounds like if you want to be a good teacher, like you, if you should have no a button of water than your children or than your students. The student has a cup of water, but you should have a bucket of water. It's
That's
bigger
that's
than
right.
your
Of course.
students.
Of course. Yeah, you have to have more than them. Although, Joanna, I also like to tell the story about when I was 18 and I started teaching and I called my teacher because I was panicked. I felt like, what am I doing? I can't teach. I don't know all the answers. They're asking me things and I don't know. And I was afraid, like, why did I do this job? I don't know everything. And I called my teacher to say, what do I do? And he told me, you don't have to know everything. You just have to be one step ahead of them. That's all. So what I tell people here now is I say, teachers are not gods. Teachers are guides. So you don't have to know the answer to everything. No, you just have to know something and have to want to help someone else along the way. So you're not a god, you're just a guide.
Yes, yes, we just guide the students.
That's right.
And your question, you just ask, then he or she try to answer. then they will have their own logical thinking, right?
That's right. Yeah. That's right. All right, Joanna. Well, those were some good questions. Thanks a lot for that. I appreciate it. I'm glad you got a chance to come up on stage before you went to bed.
Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
For me, the flag is I will contact with others once, but today I feel when I want to go to bed, I just raise my hand.
Good for you.
So thank you
Good for
for your
you.
listening.
You did it. All right, Joanna. Thanks again, and make sure you follow and come back and see me again. Okay.
Okay. I
Okay.
will follow.
Bye, bye, Joanna.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. So again, it doesn't really matter what job you're doing. If you're a teacher or you're a musician or you're whatever, in the beginning, before you can become your own unique voice as that career, you need to model yourself after other people. And eventually, you will become a mixture of all of the people that you modeled. That's your unique voice. That's your unique voice. Mustafa says, you want to play my drums? You want to play my drums? Well, that'll be a little bit hard, Mustafa, but you're welcome to come try. Yes, Joanna was a good journalist. She did do a good interview. I wasn't expecting that. Being patient is the hardest part about teaching. That's true. It is. Earl Grey says, what if you love to learn and do many things? How do you know what your thing is? Earl Grey, don't worry. You can have more than one thing. So I do many things. I'm a teacher, and I'm a drummer, and I'm a cook, and I play piano, and I speak Chinese, and I do many things. So be like that. That's right, Lucia. That's right. Lucia. That's right, Lucia. That's right. I always like to think about it, like I'm a fire starter. That's my job. My job is to start little fires in minds. That's the way I prefer to think about my job. You're welcome, Macarena. Do I have a battery in my back? What do you mean? Hello, Noemi. Thank you very much for all the compliments, everyone. Hello, Maya. I'm good. How are you? Thank you, Isal. Yes, I'm an English teacher. Hello again, Belen. Isal, if you don't know grammar, then get a grammar book. You need a book. Thank you, Maria. Earl Grey, the phrase you're looking for is a jack of all trades. A jack of all trades means a person that has many talents. When are we going to listen to my piano? I don't know, man. A bunch of people are asking. I haven't even practiced piano in at least a month. It's sitting right there, but I haven't played it in at least a month. I've been too busy. I have too many things to do. Hello, Laura. Maya, I can tell you why you can only see half my face. Turn your phone, turn your phone, turn your phone. Yes, Juan Carlos, that's what I think he meant. Yes, he means my drums. Yeah, I always forget that the word battery in many languages means drums. That's right. Yeah, bateria. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I always forget that. There's a bunch of languages where the word for drums is kind of like bateria or bateria or something like that. Yeah. Yes, those are drums behind me. I am a drummer. Yes, Laura, jack of all trades. It's an idiom that means someone who's versatile and talented in many things. Isal says, I have a grammar book, but I can't understand it. Isal, maybe see if you can try to find this grammar book. Basic English Grammar by Saddleback Publishing. This one is really easy to understand. Okay, they have some cartoons even for you to look at to help you understand. Mosen wants to know about never before plus the perfect inversion structure. Ooh, that's going to take me a minute to do some reading, Mosen, to give you the correct answer. I'll tell you what, Mosen, come back and ask me that one again tomorrow, and I'll see if I can, let me write it down, and I'll look it up later so I can give you a proper answer. See, look, teachers don't know everything. I don't have every answer. I'm not afraid to say, I don't know. I don't know, but I'll figure it out and I'll tell you later. Yes, Adam, I know. See, even Adam is getting frustrated with telling people to turn their phones sideways. Oh, is that what he's... Yeah, that is what you're talking about, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. Laura's got it. Look, you should just ask Laura. She can help you. Earl Grey says, spoken English and English grammar are two different things. Yeah, they are. You're right. There are many, many things that are acceptable in spoken English that are not acceptable in written English or formalized English. Okay, well, I've got some time. Who wants to raise their hand? Oh, okay, here we go. We got a couple people. Is it Aju and Earl Grey? Oh, excuse me. Aju or Aju, do you want to come on the stage? And Earl Grey, would you like to come on the stage? Raise your hand if you want to come on the stage. Well, I'm inviting 3 people. There's Earl Grey. And there's Mahnaz. Okay, Earl Grey, are you from Jordan? Okay. And Mahnaz, are you from Iran? I'm sorry. Are you from Tehran in Iran? Or what city?
Iran, not Tehran.
Okay.
I'm from Isfahan.
Isfahan. Okay, cool.
I'm from
All right.
Isfahan.
All right. All right. And let's see. We'll start with you. Mahnaz, did you have a question for me today or something I can help you with?
Thank you. At first, I want to say thank you, Teacher Mark, because your live streams are so useful. You know, when I arrive here, I learn lots of things from you about grammar, about everything that you explain. And my question is, you know, I have problem with using idioms in my speaking. You know, when I want to use, when I learn words or new words, I know the part of a speech. It's noun, it's verb, and I can use after subject or with infinitive or something like that. But about idiom, I don't know how can I use them at the first of the sentence, at the middle of the sentence, at the end of the sentence. How can I use them? You know, I always have problem.
Well, okay, that's a good question. I like that question, Mahnaz. And guess what? You can use them anywhere you want. So the nice thing about them is the best way to think about idioms are like they're really, really, really short stories. Okay? So, for example, let's just take the idiom kill two birds with one stone. Okay, that's one that most people know. To kill two birds with one stone means to do two actions with one action, right? To do two things with one action. And I could say, you know, hey, I need to go to the store and I know you need to get something for lunch. So how about we kill two birds with one stone? Right? So it's basically just whenever you can think of a situation where that story is useful to help you tell what you want. So here's what you should do, Mahnaz, is write down the idioms you know and then start to try to think about, okay, I know what this idiom means. Where could I use it? You know, so like I just said, kill two birds with one stone. Can you think of any other situation in life where you might need to say kill two birds with one stone? In your personal life? Anytime you need to do two actions with one thing, you know? So you could say...
Activity.
Yeah, so you could say,
For example, I listen to music and I'm painting, yeah.
Kill two birds with one stone. That's right.
I kill two birds with one stone.
That's okay. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, I see Earl Grey got a phone call. That's okay. I'll bring you back up when you're finished, Earl Grey. Just raise your hand again. So yeah, there you go. So maybe what you should do is sit down and make a little list of all the idioms that you know and see if you can start kind of thinking about what could be a situation where I might use this one, and write it down next to the idiom. You know, just write down one example. That will help you to try to connect the story, which is what we call an idiomatic idea. An idiomatic idea is basically a few words that tell a small story, okay, to help you learn a lesson. Okay, so but we can we use them in the beginning, we use them in the middle, we use them in the end. We use them wherever you feel like using them. And to be honest, sometimes you don't even need to worry about the grammar. Don't worry about the grammar at all, right? So let's say you want to use kill two birds with one stone. So your brother says, I need a ride to work. And you say, well, I'm driving that way anyway to go to the grocery store. So then you can just say so, and then say, kill two birds with one stone. So there's no grammar involved. There's nothing, there's no worry about where do I put it. Don't worry about that at all. Just drop it in there.
So you mean, for example, kill two birds with one stone. I can change kill. For example, I can say killed. May I
yes,
use that
if it was in the past, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I killed two birds with one stone. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that means you did
Yeah.
it before. You know,
Before.
yeah, that's right.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but the point is just that if you're trying to take a test in school, then yeah, I know why you want to know where should I put it in the grammatical order of things. But if you're just talking about using them in everyday life, you don't need to worry about that at all. Anytime you hear that story in your head, to kill two birds with one stone, then just use it. You know, or let the cat out of the bag. Do you know that one? Let the cat out of the bag.
No, no.
Let the cat out of the bag is an idiom that means to tell the secret. This is a fun one to learn, everybody. Let me teach you guys about two idioms. There are two idioms that are related to each other. One of them is let the cat out of the bag, but there's another idiom that's related to that idiom, and the other idiom is called a pig in a poke. To buy a pig in a poke. And what does that mean? Let me write that for everybody.
I haven't heard that. Thank you for writing.
So to buy a pig in a poke, it means that you bought something, but you didn't really look at it to check it and make sure it's correct, or make sure is it really the thing you said, or is it something else, right? So maybe if you bought an iPhone on the internet, and then you get it and you open up the box, but it's a bunch of rocks. They put rocks in the box. That's buying a pig in a poke. If you checked it at the store, you could look and see, oh, it's really a phone. But you ordered it online, so you don't know what you're getting. It's a pig in a poke. Okay? Now, where does this story come from? A long time ago, if you were buying a pig for dinner, right? Let's say you wanted to buy a pig for your family for dinner. Okay? Well, most people don't buy a big pig. You get a baby pig, all right? And that's what you would cook for dinner for your family, is a baby pig. And when you went to the market to buy a baby pig, do they have a bunch of pigs just running around the market? No. They put the pig in a little bag, okay? And that bag is called a poke, okay? A long time ago, the word for bag was a poke. A poke. Okay. There he is. Hello, my friend. I'll be right with you. Let me finish telling my story here. So, a long time ago, the word for a bag, another word for a bag, was a poke. All right. So, a pig in a poke means you went to the market to buy a pig, and the man handed you a bag, and you took the bag. Okay. But let's say you took the bag, but you didn't look inside. Okay, and now you walk home and you go home, and now you open the bag to look to get your pig. But he tricked you. There's no pig in there. He put a little cat in there instead. He tricked you. And now you open the bag and the cat comes out. And so the secret is out. So there's the two idioms, everybody. Let the cat out of the bag means the secret is out because you bought a pig in a poke. You bought a pig, but you didn't look in the bag, and it's not a pig. It's a cat. And now you went home and you opened it up, and now the cat came out of the bag, so the secret is out. Now you know. Okay? So those are the two idioms that are related to each other. A pig in a poke, and let the cat out of the bag. So, let the cat out of the bag just means tell a secret, right? So, can you think of any situation where you might need to say, let the cat out of the bag? If someone told you a secret, you know, and you accidentally told someone, you could say, well, I accidentally let the cat out of the bag. You know, I accidentally told somebody about it. Or, you know, you could say, if someone has, maybe you know something about somebody at work, you know, somebody's going to quit their job, but you don't want to tell anybody. So they'll say, hey, don't let the cat out of the bag.
For example, my friend told me about her salary and she told me, don't say anybody. But unfortunately, I let the cat out of the
bag. Yes.
I let the
Yes, you
cat
could do
out
it.
of the bag.
That's a good example. There you go. So see, This is how you can practice your idioms. If you're so worried about, well, I don't know how to use them when I'm talking to people, then what you can do is imagine you're using them and try to create a situation where you need that idiom so that you know, oh, okay, now I understand how to use that one. Then the next time it does happen in real life, you'll be more prepared. You'll feel like, oh, I can use this idiom here. Okay?
Yeah, you're right. Thank you. Thank you for explanation.
No problem.
And, thank you. You are a good Samaritan. Your live stream is like a breath of fresh air. Thank you.
Thank you very much. See,
It
look,
was
you
the last
just
second
you
ago.
just used a great idiom, a breath of fresh air. See, you just did it. Okay, Mahnaz, I'm going to let you go and talk to Eju here, and but thank you very
Yeah,
much for
sure.
coming up. I'll see you next time.
Thank you too. Thank you too.
Okay, bye bye.
I
Eju, is it? How do I say your name?
Ageu.
Eju. Okay, all right. How can I help you today, my friend?
How do you speak English?
How do you?
I've been studying English for 3 months.
Okay.
I've been studying English since I was a child, so it's been it's a mandatory subject in your schools
Okay.
in Brazil.
Right.
I don't learn English.
Right. So the reason why is because when you learned English in school, they didn't teach you how to think in English. You were still thinking in Portuguese, right? So that's why almost everyone, if you can't really speak a language, there's a really good possibility that the reason why is because you don't know how to think in that language yet. Okay? So you said you started learning again for the last 3 months. That's good. So now you need to start using the English you're learning in your mind. Use it as much as you can, as often as you can, all day. This is what we call turning on your English brain. There's a little switch. You can turn it on. Okay? So don't think I'm hungry in Portuguese. Think I'm hungry in English. Don't think I'm late in Portuguese. Think I'm late in English. All right? Whatever you have to do, wake up in the morning and think, I need to get dressed. I need a t-shirt. Where are my pants? Those are not hard things to think, are they?
Okay.
I think those are pretty easy things to think. And then maybe, Aju, you might find something that you don't know how to say. Right? You'll say, I need to go get gasoline for my car. My car needs petrol. How do I say that in English, right? Maybe you know how to say it in Portuguese, but you don't know how to say it in English. When you start thinking in English, you will find all the things that you don't know how to say well. Okay?
Okay.
So, go ahead. Do you have another question? Go ahead.
My difficulty, I speak, I listen. I read good, more or less.
Okay.
But I speak and I listen.
Okay. So you're speaking and you're listening. You think those are good or not so good?
Not so good.
Not so good. Okay. So how do you practice your speaking?
This is app. I listen podcast.
Okay. All right.
I watch movie and the series TV.
Okay. So, but Aju, when you're talking about speaking practice, speaking, how do you practice speaking English?
No,
Right.
not the practical speaking.
It's hard to because there's no one to speak with, right? So, Aju, I have 4 ways for you to practice speaking. 4, okay? 1, try to find a native speaker like me. Try to find someone on the app, maybe on HelloTalk. You can try to find someone and introduce yourself. Say, hi, hello, I'm Aju from Brazil. I read your profile and I see that you like barbecue. Have you ever tried Brazilian barbecue? You know, talk to them and make it interesting so that they'll want to talk back with you, right? Or, Aju, what city are you in? Are you in Rio? Are you in Sao Paulo? Where are you?
I mean, Pernambuco.
Pernambuco. Okay, so that's not a very big city, is it? Is that a big? Is it big or medium or small?
Middle City.
Middle. Okay. Do you think there are any native speakers there? Any native workers, like foreign native workers?
No.
No. Okay, so that's what I mean. Right. So, but maybe if you go to Rio or you go to Sao Paulo, there will be some foreign workers there who speak English, but you have to find them. How can you find them? Find the food. If you want to find the foreigner, find the food. Okay, so find out where is a Western restaurant where all the foreigners come hang out. All right, that's what you want to do. So number 1 is try to find a native speaker. Number 2, Aju, is find a non-native speaker like you. Another person like you who wants to practice their English, who lives in your neighborhood maybe. Okay? And practice with them. And I know you are going to say, but maybe their English is not very good. And I will say, but maybe their English is better than yours. So the first level is try to speak with a native speaker. But if you can't find a native speaker, then speak with a non-native speaker. Find some other Brazilians who want to practice their English. Then there's step 3, Aju. This is the big one, and this is the one that's the most important and the most effective. Okay? If you really want to learn English better and you want to learn English faster, you need to teach someone. Teach someone what you know. Okay? Teach your brother, teach your nephew, your niece, your doctor, your dad, your mom, your boss, your neighbor, whoever. Teach someone what you know. Because it's like Albert Einstein said, if you can't explain it, then maybe you don't understand it. And so, if you have to explain English to somebody else, that's really good practice for you. All right? So, teach someone. If you can teach one person, great. If you can teach 5 people, really good. If you can teach 10 people, you will be speaking English really well, really soon. Okay? That's step 3. And then finally, step 4. Okay? So, step 1, native speaker. Step 2, non-native speaker. Step 3, teach someone. And then step 4, if you can't find anyone to speak with, you still need to speak. So talk to yourself. Talk to the TV. Watch a TV show, and then when you see the TV show, talk about it. Just, whatever's happening on that TV show, talk about it with your mouth out loud, okay? Or talk to your dog, talk to the wall. It doesn't matter. The point is, I'm giving you 4 levels of speaking practice. 4 levels of speaking practice. And with those 4 levels, there's no excuse. You have no excuse. You will practice. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Aju, did you have any other questions for me?
No, no.
No? All right. Well, that was good. That was a good one. Yeah. 4 levels of speaking practice, everyone. 4 levels. There's no excuse. Okay? All right, Aju, thank you very much for coming up. And look, I see somebody in the chat here who said that they'll practice with you. Where was that? I just saw somebody there. Marcos. Marcos said he'll practice with you. He's from Brazil. Okay? So find some people to talk to each other, all right? You guys can meet up and practice, all right?
Practice.
Okay. Thank you, Aju. I'll see you next time, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. All right, let me see. Did I miss anything in the comments? One moment. Let me go back and see what I missed here. Thank you for the gifts, everyone. Thank you, Mahmoud and Ahmed. Teresa says, Aju practices in your voice room that you have every day. Good. That's good. Good. Mahmoud says, teach someone the bad English you have. Maybe, Mahmoud. So, Mahmoud, let's say that's true. Let's say that you teach someone English incorrectly. You know, you taught them how to pronounce a word the wrong way. Or you taught them that they should use is when they should use are. Did anyone die? No. Did the world end? No. So, even if you teach someone incorrectly, it's not the end of the world. They will figure it out. So, for example, Mahmoud, when I was younger, there were a few drummers who taught me to do some things on the drums. The way they taught me wasn't right, but I still learned from it. It was still a good learning experience. Okay? Yes, Maria. Yes, Maria. Teaching is the fastest way to improve. It's the best kind of practice you can do, in my opinion. If you teach someone, it's really good practice. Hello, Bruno. Do I like Mark Twain? I love Mark Twain, Austin. Big Mark Twain fan. I quote him often. I love his quote about politicians and diapers. Do you know that one, Austin? That's my favorite Mark Twain quote. But he has another one about travel that's also really, really good. Earl Grey says, I watched Jerry Springer to learn English and I regret it. Earl Grey, it's funny you should say that. Jerry Springer is from my city. He used to be the mayor of my city. Jerry Springer was the mayor of Cincinnati, Ohio. And he used to be on the news every night. When I was a boy, every night he was the news guy, the local news guy. And I know you're not going to believe me, but he was really good. He was a really good newscaster. He spoke well. He had really great thoughts and ideas at the end of every show. It was really good. Yeah. So I know he's a terrible example. He just passed away, actually. But there are worse ways to learn English. Joyce says, like the Feynman technique. Yeah, Joyce, you know, it's really funny because I didn't really learn about Feynman until maybe the last 5 years or so. Maybe in the last 5 years or so, I've learned about Feynman, and I've read a lot about him. And a lot of the things that he says are the same things I say. Or I guess I should say, I say the same things he says. Yes, Marcos, I know you didn't say you could teach anybody. I mean study together. That's what I mean. Teach each other. You can teach him something you know. He can teach something he knows. Right? And that's true. Sofiane says when you teach someone, you have to be confident too. That's true. That's right. That's right. His guests were not brilliant. That's right. But even he knew that. You know, he kind of regretted his own TV show. He made a lot of money, but he kind of regretted it, I think. Yeah. Muhammad says, how do I remember vocabulary when you're talking to someone? Okay, Muhammad, let me tell you about vocabulary and how your brain works. Most people here, they try to learn by memorizing, right? Especially vocabulary. They try to learn vocabulary by memorization. And so maybe they write down the word 10 times, right? They'll say, I'm going to learn the word paragraph. Okay, paragraph is a word. I'm going to write down the word paragraph 10 times. Paragraph, 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 paragraph. 10 times. Now, and then later, they try to remember the word paragraph, but they can't remember it. And that's because memorizing doesn't work. Especially if your idea of memorizing is just writing the word 10 times. When you write the word 10 times, the only thing you are learning is the hand movement. You're learning the hand movement to write that word. That's the only thing you're learning. Okay? If you want to learn that word, you have to use that word. You have to use the meaning of that word, not the movement, the meaning. That's what you're trying to use. Okay? So write 4 sentences with the word paragraph. Look up the etymology of the word paragraph. Where does this word come from? Find out what are the rules about paragraphs in English grammar. If you read about paragraphs and you write about paragraphs and you listen about paragraphs, you will remember about paragraphs. Okay? So anytime I hear someone tell me that they want to memorize something, all I can hear is someone telling me, I'm really lazy and I'm not willing to do the work. So I want to memorize. That's what I hear. When you tell me you want to memorize, you're telling me that you're lazy. Because it's not a good technique. And it requires almost no effort. So what you want is you want the reward, but you don't want to put in the effort. And you can't. So if you're forgetting the words, it's because you didn't put in the effort. Okay? If you're forgetting the words, you didn't put in enough effort. And that's because you tried to memorize them, and memorizing is just not effective. Okay? Prince and the Pauper, sure. Hello, Masha. We're talking about anything. I'm trying to answer questions. Masha says the movement helps to remember how to write it, but that's all. It just teaches you how to write it. It won't teach you how to use it in a conversation, right? So, what I like to think about is I think about my brain is like a spider web. Okay, everybody? Your brain is like a spider web. And if a spider wants to catch a fly, it needs to make a good web, right? If a spider only makes one little piece of web, is it going to catch anything? If a spider only makes one little piece of web, is it going to catch anything? No. So it makes many pieces of web, right? And that makes a very strong web. So when you forget a word, it's because your spider web is too weak. Your spider web is too weak. So the fly went in this ear and it came out the other ear. But if you use that word a bunch of times and you experience that word, every time you find a new way to experience that word, you're creating a new piece of web and making your web stronger. The stronger your web is, the more likely you will remember that word. Do you understand, everybody? So think about your brain like a spider web, and the information, if you want to remember it, you have to use it enough. That's creating a strong web. Okay? How do you mimic, like emphasize emphasis and intonation when you speak? Earl Grey, I don't mimic English. I mimic Chinese when I learn Chinese. But that's different because they have different emphasis and different intonation, right? But, you know, again, Earl Grey, choose someone who you think speaks very well, like Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman is an excellent speaker. So, have you seen all of his movies? Have you seen all of his TV shows? Have you seen all of his documentaries? Get them. All of his interviews online. Okay, he speaks well. So choose one and start focusing on mimicking one who speaks well. I am from Cincinnati, Ohio. You're welcome, Oz. Abdo says, why can I understand you, but I can't understand the people in the movies? Abdo, I'm an English teacher. My job is to speak well. My job is to teach other people to speak well. That's the first reason why. The second reason why is because Brad Pitt, the guy in the movies, his job is to look pretty. Tom Cruise, the guy in the movies, his job is to look pretty. Whoever, doesn't matter who it is, man or woman, their job is not to speak well or clearly. Their job is to play the character in that movie, and that character might not speak well. So, if you're watching a movie, make sure you're watching a movie that has people who speak well. Okay, so one, I'm a teacher. That's why. It's my job. Two, because it's not their job to speak well. It's their job to be entertaining. Okay, an actor, his job is just to be fun and funny and interesting and adventurous and cool on camera. His job is not to speak with perfect English diction. Okay? And three, I have really, really good equipment. Okay? That's why. What are the best apps for learning language by talking to people? You're on it, Nick. HelloTalk is the number one in the world. There are others, but I don't even know what they are because I just stay here. I've been here for like 10 years.